Hi, it's Rodney from Bloke Support and welcome to video 2 of Relationship Fight Club. Relationship Fight Club is a video series for couples who want to fight less and communicate better. In the last video we spoke about the 8 rules of Relationship Fight Club and how to use those rules to be able to communicate better and fight less. And today we're going to tell you all about how fights start. The importance of this is once you know how fights start, you can then work to ensure that fights don't start in the future. Okay, so let's get on with it. First of all, how fights start is there needs to be an event, an initial event. So this could be someone has said something to you, someone has done something, someone has not done something. Any of these reasons why fights start, that's your initial event. And then what happens, we take that event and we interpret it or we process it. Okay, so what this means is we actually give it a meaning, and this is what we do to everything around us every single day, and it happens on an unconscious basis, so we don't realize that we're doing it and we don't realize how quick it can just happen. Okay, so to go into a bit further how we do this, it's a mixture of what our beliefs are, what our values are, and also what our past experiences are. All these work together to create a meaning. For instance, if an event was someone left their clothes on the floor, okay, the value you may have is that cleanliness. Cleanliness is a high priority value for you. And your past experiences of people who have not held that value as highly as you has led to the attitude that people who are not clean are lazy, bad people are no good. Okay, so then we take that meaning and that causes an emotional response. An emotional response to the meaning of someone who is not clean is lazy or is a bad person. It could invoke an emotional response such as anger or frustration. Then we take that emotional response and that's what we use to dictate our next behavior. So if we're angry, our behavior might be to start yelling, to start that argument, to start that fight. That behavior then becomes a new event and the process is started again. Now that we know how fights start, what is it that you can do to actually prevent them from starting in the first place? In this system, there's 2 areas that we can work on to change things a bit so that we don't start fighting. And the first thing we can do is we can change our behavior towards an emotional response. So when we get angry, instead of reacting behaving in a way of anger and yelling and starting a fight, we can take that emotional response and choose to behave in a different way. This requires high level of emotional control, but when it is done, it's really empowering because finally you're in control of your actions, not your emotions. And that said, it is easier said than done, but with the help of counseling, say anger management, if you're particularly easily angered, that can be done. Second way we can change this is we can change our interpretation of events. So this will change the meaning of the events, and that will change your emotional response. Benefit is you don't have to try and control your emotions, which can be really difficult, especially when our emotions take over. But it does require work, and it does require a lot of personal growth. So a lot of soul searching, a lot of counseling, a lot of self-development, self-improvement, maybe with the help of a counselor or a life coach, someone like that. But it is possible, and that way you won't be as quick to anger, and you can change the way you behave. So that's how we can stop fights from starting well before they begin. It does require work, but it is possible. So if you need help with any of these, you can turn to our website www.blokesupport.com.au. You can also like us on Facebook, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel Bloke Support TV.